Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. We're joined with Jeannette Brock. Now, Jeannette is an ACC advisor who has been working for, how long have you been doing advising for or advocating for,
Uh,
Jeannette?
23 years, all right, and many cases. I've completed thousands of cases and probably well over 100 cases at the district court. And a few of those, probably about 10 or 15 were treatment injuries,
Yep.
all right, which we'll be discussing about today. And, I'm not, sort of skiting or anything like that, but I have won, 80% of my cases and probably about 95 at the district court.
Well done. So Jeannette and I would prefer not to be here today. Not that we don't like talking together, but the reason we've come together is just some of the horrific vaccine injuries that are coming out. And there was a video I saw this last weekend of a 23-year-old who was fit and healthy, full-time job, and now is in a wheelchair, can't control her arms and has trouble talking just from the vaccine. That is not okay. And for our government to continue to say they're safe is a lie. And we do hear, look, it's only 1 in 5 million, and that's just what happens sometimes. You don't hear about all the injuries for everything else. But actually, it's not 1 in 5 million. And Jeannette, how many people have you dealt with recently that have suffered from serious adverse reactions to the vaccine?
Probably about in the last 3 weeks, about 30 people that I've been in contact with that have got serious injury. In particular, talking with Casey, right, the lady that we were talking about, she's been diagnosed with severe Tourette's, and she's never ever had any type of neurological symptoms prior to that vaccine. Now, in the 3 weeks that I have known her, all right, and talked to her many times by a video conference, she's got worse. All right, she's having these severe attacks where she just can't stop moving. And, I just really feel for her. The sad thing is that when she goes to the hospital, all right, they don't want to know her. They don't know what to do with her, and all they're giving her at the moment is just psychotic, sort of antidepressant medications. That's it. And she should be in the neurological hospital department at Auckland Hospital.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen some pretty harsh critics. There's some real keyboard warriors out there saying that they're just actors and there's no real harm. What would you say to those people?
Well, you're completely wrong. I haven't been doing this job for so long to say people, if they're so cynical. The fact is that people are being injured. I have spoken to these people regularly, sometimes every day, just to encourage them that they are going to get better. Things will improve. And the fact is that if they want to close their minds to it, well, I'm sorry, you're just not a very good person.
Yeah. So you've also been working with the Health Forum, haven't you, and with Linda?
Yes.
Yeah. So with the Health Forum, I mean, how many injuries are you looking at being reported there? What are you seeing there as far as numbers go?
Well, Linda said to me that we've recorded over 220 deaths, and that for serious injuries, what's happening on the forum is that Linda has asked a lot of people to volunteer to take affidavits of people and actual video recordings of people that have been seriously injured. And we've got over now 1,000 serious injuries, let alone the people that have died. And we're not just talking about elderly people dying. I think the youngest one we've recorded has been 12, that has died from a massive heart attack. Right up to, uncles and aunties dying. As soon as they've had the vaccine, they've been dead within 2 days, and it's just not right.
No, that's pretty brutal. So if someone does have a adverse reaction to the vaccine, does ACC, are they interested? Or is it something they can take up?
Yes. The last report we had, they had administered, or it's over 400 claims, all right. Some of them had already been accepted, and there was about 129 still being investigated. So ACC are getting the treatment injury claims, and they are accepting them. One of them was my lady who had a really, really serious, bad her arm just actually stopped working, and she had all this numbness in her throat and down the side of her neck. Within 2 days of me lodging that claim, it was accepted by ACC. Not me lodging it, but her lodging it. The claim was accepted.
Okay, so what's the process for that? How do they go? How would someone go about that?
All right. What you need to do, if you're not recovering within a 2-week period of getting that vaccine, you can't go to work. You've got brain fog. You're in pain. You can't get out of bed. You can't sleep. You can't. Nothing's working. You know yourself you're not right. All right. And you've been back to the doctor and you're saying, I've got these symptoms. I don't know what I'm doing. If it hasn't gone away within 2 weeks, you lodge a treatment injury claim with ACC. Now, you have to sometimes insist that with your GP, because they'll sit there and say, it's not the vaccine. That's not their decision, all right? It's up to ACC to investigate the claim. All he has to do is fill out a 2 pages for the treatment injury application. All they've got to do is write down the symptoms, started from such and such a date, and send it into ACC, and then it's up to ACC to decide whether you've had a treatment injury or not.
So I guess the logic behind that is there's so many doctors around New Zealand that they may only see 1 or 2, but ACC, if they get a flood of exactly the same things coming in, they can go, hey, well, there is obviously something going on here, and it's not someone making something up. So, and so generally, how long would it take for ACC to process a claim and come back to you to say whether they accept it or not?
Sometimes it could, like I said, with that lady I was helping, 2 days with putting her claim in, because it was so obvious. But because it's sometimes, your symptoms can be more rare and severe, and you don't have a confirmed a diagnosis, it can take up to 9 months. But I'm not seeing that with these particular treatment injury claims, because what I'm seeing is that the team member within a right.
Today, it's not going to make any difference to me seeing you tomorrow because the vaccine would have kicked in, and they said, we don't care. If you're vaccinated, you can come see us tomorrow. If you're not, you can't.
Number, we do. Bye.